The year is 20, and the world is raw, untamed, and far removed from anything we would recognize today. There are no cities filled with lights, no machines, no modern comforts. Life is simple, harsh, and deeply connected to nature. Every day is a struggle for survival, and every moment depends on strength, skill, and the land itself. As the sun rises over the horizon, a small settlement slowly comes to life. The homes are not buildings as we know them, but simple structures made from mud, wood, and thatch. Some are little more than huts, while others are shared shelters where families live together for warmth and protection. There are no streets paved with stone, only dirt paths worn down by footsteps over time. The ground is uneven, often muddy, and marked by the tracks of animals and people alike. Animals are everywhere, goats, sheep, and sometimes cattle, moving freely among the people. They are not just companions, but essential for survival, providing food, clothing, and labor. Inside these homes, life is basic. There is no furniture as we know it. People sit on the ground or on simple wooden stools. Beds are made from straw or animal skins, offering little comfort but enough to rest tired bodies after a long day of work. Fire is the center of everything. It provides warmth, light, and a way to cook food. Without it, survival would be nearly impossible. Hygiene in the modern sense does not exist. There are no bathrooms, no soap, and no structured way of staying clean. People may wash in rivers or streams when possible, but this is not a daily routine. Dirt, sweat, and the smell of smoke are constant parts of life. When it comes to waste, there are no systems to manage it. People simply go outside, away from their homes, often in nearby fields or wooded areas. Nature takes care of the rest. There's no concept of sanitation, and yet people continue to live and adapt. Food is one of the most important parts of daily life. People eat what they can grow, gather, or hunt. Grains like wheat or barley are ground into flour and used to make simple bread. Vegetables are grown in small patches of land, and wild plants are collected from the surrounding area. Meat is not always available, but when animals are hunted or slaughtered, every part is used. Water is taken from rivers, streams, or wells. It is not clean by modern standards, but it is necessary. Sometimes people boil water or prepare simple drinks, but often they drink it as it is, trusting their bodies to handle it. Clothing is simple and practical. Most garments are made from wool, linen, or animal skins. They are designed to protect against the weather rather than provide comfort or style. Clothes are worn for long periods and repaired when damaged, as making new ones requires time and effort. Work begins early and continues until sunset. Men and women both contribute to the survival of the community. Fields must be worked, animals must be cared for, and tools must be made or repaired. There is little rest, and every task is important. Children are not separated from this life. From a young age, they learn how to help, gathering wood, fetching water, and assisting in small tasks. There is no formal education as we know it. Knowledge is passed down through experience and observation. Despite the hardships, there is a strong sense of community. People rely on each other for support and protection. They share resources, help during difficult times, and celebrate small moments of joy when they can. Belief and spirituality play an important role. Without scientific understanding, people look to nature, spirits, or gods to explain the world around them. The sun, the rain, and the seasons are all seen as powerful forces that must be respected. Life in the year 20 is not easy. It is filled with challenges, dangers, and uncertainty, but it is also a life of resilience. People adapt, survive, and continue forward, building the foundation for the future. In this world, there are no luxuries, no shortcuts, and no guarantees. There is only life, raw, simple, and real. And every single day is a victory. From mud, wood, and reeds, barely large enough to shelter a family. Inside, the space is shared. Parents, children, and sometimes extended relatives sleep on beds of straw or animal hides. The hearth serves as the center of life, providing warmth, light, and a place to cook what little food is available. The smell of smoke mingles with the earthy odor of mud and the scents of animals, creating an environment that is foreign to modern sensibilities but entirely familiar to the inhabitants. Water is drawn from nearby streams or shallow wells. It is rarely clean, and people have no knowledge of bacteria or germs. They drink it anyway because there are no alternatives, and survival demands it. The concept of bathing is minimal. Washing is sporadic, done in cold streams or ponds. Clothing is rudimentary, made from animal skins, furs, and simple woven fibers. Garments are patched repeatedly, handed down, and worn until they fall apart. Protection from the elements is more important than comfort or aesthetics. Food is scarce and often repetitive. Hunting provides occasional meat, wild deer, boar, or small game, but most meals consist of gathered plants, nuts, berries, and roots. Those living near water sources catch fish to supplement their diet. Fire is used to cook these foods, but it requires constant attention and fuel, and smoke fills the small dwellings, making every breath thick with soot. Children grow up quickly. From a young age, they are taught the skills necessary for survival: how to hunt, gather, make fire, construct shelters, and recognize edible plants. Play exists, but it is intertwined with learning and responsibility. The lines between work and learning are blurred because the community depends on everyone, regardless of age, to contribute. Hygiene is almost non-existent. Without soap, clean water, or knowledge of germs, people accept body odor and grime as normal. They live side by side with animals, sharing the same living spaces, and animal waste often mixes with human living areas. Nature itself is their toilet, and there is no concept of privacy as we understand it today. Disease is a constant threat. Even small injuries can become deadly infections. People have no access to modern medicine, antibiotics, or sterilization. Remedies are based on observation, trial, and error. They rely on herbs, crushed plants, and simple rituals to treat ailments, while superstition and belief in spirits play a major role in explaining illness. Life in the year 20 is communal. Families and small clans work together to protect each other, share resources, and survive harsh weather and predation. Hunters track game while gatherers collect roots and berries. Everyone knows the land intimately: the river currents, the forest paths, the seasonal changes that dictate when to plant, when to harvest, and when to hunt. The seasons dominate their existence. Winter is brutal. Cold winds, snow, and scarcity of food test their endurance. They huddle together for warmth, using straw, hides, and body heat to survive. Summer brings relative abundance but also challenges: insects, heat, and the labor of maintaining shelters, planting crops, and preserving food for the coming months. Spring and autumn are times of preparation, when the community ensures that they have enough to survive the extremes of winter and the unpredictability of the wild. There is no formal leadership in most communities, but elders and experienced hunters often guide decisions. Knowledge of the land, past seasons, and survival techniques determines authority. Those who can provide, protect, and advise are respected, and cooperation is essential because any weakness can affect the entire group. Religion and spirituality are inseparable from daily life. People look to the sun, the rain, the changing seasons, and the cycles of the moon for guidance. Rituals and offerings are made to appease unseen forces believed to control hunting, fertility, and health. These beliefs are not abstract. They are practical. A failed hunt or a sudden illness may be seen as a punishment from spirits, requiring acknowledgement, respect, and corrective action. Conflict exists, but is not constant. Disputes over resources, hunting grounds, or grazing areas can flare, but most of the time, people focus on survival. Life is so precarious that cooperation outweighs rivalry. Every hand counts, every life is valuable, and harmony ensures the continuation of the community. At night, the village becomes quiet except for the crackle of fires and the distant calls of animals. The people rest as best they can, knowing that tomorrow will demand the same unrelenting effort, tending fields, hunting, gathering, caring for children, and maintaining shelter. Sleep is rarely deep, because danger is always near, from predators, from weather, and from the unknown forces that shape life in this raw and unyielding world. Even in such harsh conditions, life persists. People adapt to the enviro,